Now, 1 o'clock Central Time. We just left Evansdale, the Flying J. We topped up our fuel. We got a little bit of snowfall coming down. We got 448 miles to Fargo. So we're going to make another quick load check up in Albert Lea, there in Minnesota. But we are on our way. Now we are basically heading north, northwest, west. We're going to get over to I-35 before we leave, before we get out of Iowa. Then we'll take I-35 into Minnesota. But a nice little bit of flurry activity going on here. Like I said, just a bit north of Cedar Rapids or Cedar Falls, Iowa, Waterloo, Iowa. You see, I don't know if the camera's picking up a little bit of dry blowing snow on the road. So it's not too bad. Excuse me. Like I said, we topped up our fuel. We topped up our def. I put a jug of anti-gel because they did not have any diesel one at that particular Flying J. So I put a full jug of 200, which treats up to 250 gallons of fuel. So 2 full tanks with a jug for 250 gallons. So I have 209. Let's see, it's 120 gallons and 190 gallons or 170 gallons, 190 gallons. Plus, I already had some anti-gel in there previously from when I left Georgia, or actually when I left Paducah, Kentucky. So I already had some in there. So we are good to go. So our fuel is not going to gel up. We also put anti-gel into the tractor. We ran that, so we're good for that. But here we are going through the cold, snowy, rural part of Iowa. I said we're on US 218, Iowa 27. Bremer County we are entering. So not too much happening today. We're just going to keep making our way towards Fargo. I said first we're going to get ourselves 112 miles up here to Albert Lea. Do another quick load check. Figure out where we're going to go from there. I could have gone another 60 miles almost up to Northfield, but that would have made about 176 miles, and that's more than the regulations allow. 150 miles is the maximum number of miles. 3 hours is the maximum number of hours between your load checks. So there's a couple of little places in between, but I'll just pop in the Loves there at Albert Lea. Bing, bang, boom, in and out. And we'll figure out where we're going to go from that point on. Like I said, we're going to get up towards Minneapolis. St. Paul, Minneapolis. We're going to just continue to follow. We'll find some place up near, let's see. Probably, we'll figure out where we're going to stop at after that. But we are ending up at Fargo for the night, for the weekend. I have 2,498 points on my reward card for Pilot Flying J. So I will get a reserve spot, but I will not be paying for a reserve spot. I'll get it free of charge because I'm going to use my points. Which is always a good thing. So about an hour and 45 minutes up to Albert Lea. So we might as well just say we'll get there around 3 o'clock. I leave 320 miles to go. So that's about 5 hours of driving, 5.5 hours of driving. But we'll have a guaranteed place to park. We have the hours to do it. We're allowed to travel at night as long as we are properly flagged and lighted. We got to put some beacons out, which we already have some flashing lights out, but we're going to put some flashing lights on the axles of our tractor so people can see the actual width of the the width of the vehicle, the maximum width. And of course, we got flags in the front at the corner, flags all the way at the back of the trailer at the corners. We have flashing beacons on the top of the truck. We have flashing beacons on the very back of the trailer. So we'll be A-OK. TJ, we went to Utah. I'm sure Oregon was clear. In every road condition listed. Well, that's always fun. But we're gonna do our run up here to Fargo. Tomorrow I'll be sitting. Nothing I can do because I can't deliver until Monday. So I will get laundry done. Did that. My anti-gel, got that. Got my extra beacons. I got 3 more of the orange, and I got 2 more of the. I got 2 of the red here. So I have the better beacons, and I got some little small puck ones. They're okay. They do the trick, but these ones are better. So I got those. A few extra flags that I needed to have to make sure in case I lose one, I always have replacements. And just the stuff that I need to have to do the job. So like I said, got plenty of anti-gel in the fuel for my truck and my tractor. Plenty of coolant, antifreeze in the system. I may have to. I think tomorrow I'll put some cardboard, on half of the radiator, just to make sure it's not cooling down too much. I mean, I'm still maintaining about 185 degrees, which is the normal that I usually have. So we will deal with that. And like I said before, once we make our delivery Monday, north in Galesburg, North Dakota, back over to Minnesota, pick up this 12-foot wide load, go out to Washington State. And then we will see what comes from there. More than likely, as was the last time I was in Washington, not too long ago, just a little under a month ago, we will more than likely be deadheading over into Tacoma to pick up a load out of Tacoma. That's the most likely scenario. Which means I will be dealing with Snoqualmie. So we have to worry about the chain laws going on. If the chain laws are in effect, I can't go. This company does not carry chains on their truck for the tires. Which, to me, that's up there. That's kind of yes and no. No chains when it's bad weather. You don't want to be driving anyway. Hey, Janet, thank you for popping in. Even if it's only for a moment, I do appreciate it. Like I said, if the weather is that bad that you have to, like I said, chains are only there to get you out of trouble, not into trouble. If the weather's bad at the beginning of the day, with the rehab for the internet, there's no reason to ever need to put chains on. 2, this company, Valley Transportation, we do a lot of oversized loads, you know, like I am on now, like my next load will be, oversized. Permits do not allow you to drive anyway, so what's the point of having chains on if you can't be on the road, if the permit won't let you? So, road gets shut down, just stop. Trucker Z, how you doing, sir? So we are, you know, if the weather shuts me down, the only thing I do is just send a quick note to my manager. Hey, shut down for weather. This road, here's the condition. If I need to, I'll snap a picture of the weather map, where I am, why the road was shut down, and they got no problem with that. So it all works. But this little bit of light flurry activity is not affecting the visibility. So without really, so just the delay this morning with my logs, that's the biggest issue. You know, unfortunately did not take myself from the post-trip inspection, you know, on duty. I forgot, you know, it just slipped my mind, you know how things can get. Slipped my mind and I forgot to put myself into the sleeper berth. And unfortunately, I woke up this morning and I needed an adjustment by the office, the ELD administrator at my company. So I had to request a hey, Kiersey, how you doing? Trucking with Kiersey, a lovely lady. And I don't know anybody who doesn't know who she is. I mean, if you're in trucking, you're on YouTube, and hopefully she enjoys the move from one company to another. And Trucker Z, of course, it's kind of in his name. But there we go. There we go. Okay, I figured out how to do it. Never mind. Yeah, somebody tried calling me on something, a glitch in the programming, you know, caused the freeze up. Hey, no problem, Kersey. You have a good day. Just be safe out there. Don't let the four-wheelers drive you too crazy. right, so in a little bit up the road here, Chickasaw County. Here we go. Why can you not use a turn signal and give a little bit of room in front of the big truck while it's snowing? Ah, lordy, lordy, lordy. Reckless. Reckless, reckless, reckless. All right, so like I was saying before I was interrupted by this knucklehead, we are going to be coming up here on Charles City. And not just a little bit up here. No. At around 12 or 13 miles or so. And we'll be kind of making a right-hand turn on the road here, but we got to make a left-hand turn and like a right-hand turn, going to stay on the outskirts of the city. Ontario. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to be, once I make this delivery Monday, I'll be making a trip with a wide load out to Othello, Washington. So I'll be kind of near the area. Once I make that delivery in Othello, a bit south of Moses Lake, and a bit west of Yakima. So once I make the shop that's there, get this APU looked at, get that functioning properly like it's supposed to be, so I don't have to run the truck engine in order to cook dinner. That'll be nice. Nashua, home of Cedar Lake. Oregon City. I'm trying to remember where that's at. I forget. It's amazing. I remember half the places I've been and what's going on with them. I mean, when you drive the entirety of 48 states, it's kind of hard to keep up with it all. King and Queen stacking afternoon. We are having fun in the Great White almost north. We're not quite in Canada, but we're getting close. Heading up to Fargo, Floyd County. Here we are. 218, US 218 north, Iowa 27 north. Charles City, 9 miles. Osage, 29. Austin, Minnesota, 60-something miles. Which, Austin, Minnesota, if I remember right, that is the town that has the Spam Museum. So if you want to go see the Spam Museum, go to Austin, Minnesota. Old Highway Road. Excuse me. little bit is sticking to the road here, but it's not too bad. It's really light, so we should be a-okay. It's not, like I said, it's cold, but it's not bad. If the camera's picking it up on the phone here, the snow is mostly dry. It's blowing. The only thing making it stick to the road is the heat that's been put into it from the tires of the traffic. But it's doing a-okay. We have good purchase with our tires. We are not slipping. We're not losing traction. We're rolling along nice and safe. Like I said, our next stop at about 85 miles is Albert Lea, Minnesota. You got the Trails Inn with the Petro fuel, and we are going across the street just because it's easier to get out once we stop over at the Loves. We're gonna pop in there, we're gonna do a load check, and we're gonna roll. But other than that, we are just going to have a nice, easy drive. Hopefully the weather and being Saturday keeps a few more people off of the road. That's always nice, to make it a little bit easier. We just have to be cognizant of the wind, like right there. And we just have to be aware of the road conditions. Not so much for myself, besides dealing with the regulations on the permit, not driving when it gets really bad, for adverse weather, but more so dealing with the four-wheelers who just will have a lack of common sense and will drive like complete maniacs in the snow. All right, right up here, the road's going to bend a little bit more to the east, almost due east in a little bit. Then we'll turn basically due north, going around the south and west side of Charles City. And then, a couple miles north of Charles City, we'll turn basically almost due east on US 18. So US 18 and I believe it's still going to be Iowa 27. So we're good to go. Then we will merge with, we'll get onto I-35, take that due north at exit 190, I believe it is. And we got, at least about half an hour or so from that point at I-35 to get up to the border. And I think it's like 11 miles up to Albert Lea, I think. Another one of the Valley guys. He's heading south. Lucky dog. So, one of my co-workers is heading south. We're heading north. I would have preferred heading down to Florida. Or Louisiana, or, something And then, like I said, once we do this load Monday, we're going to stay in the north from Minnesota all the way to Washington. Fantastic. So we are probably, we're going to be 12 foot wide on the next load, which is an extra, which is 2 foot more than we have right now. So, like everybody knows, legal width 8'6". We are going to be 12 foot, 3.5 feet wider than a truck. So we may, like I said, the only place that I'm really concerned with that is going to be Idaho, going through Coeur d'Alene, going through Post Falls into Spokane. I think that'll be the place that's going to be the most trouble. Because depending upon what they because I don't know if they're still doing that construction there in Coeur d'Alene. I think they are. They didn't look anywhere near complete with it last month when I went through there. So I may have a width restriction going through there. I may actually get detoured all the way south onto I-84 down near Boise. So head down south, down to Boise, then take that up through Oregon, then take that up through into like Ellensburg area. Through Yakima, that direction. That's a possibility. That is a distinct possibility that instead of just going straight I-90, 94, 90, all the way out there, then once I get to Moses Lake, turn south down to Othello, it's a possibility I could be detoured and to avoid I-90 there in Idaho. But until the permits come through, I won't know. So, there you go. Pardon me. A couple of windmills there. They're actually turning. And nice and easy here around the southwest corner of Charles City, right off to our right hand side here. And hopefully this doesn't last too long. Hopefully we can kind of get through this here. Floyd County Fairgrounds, exit 214. It's bad enough you will speed when it's dry outside, but now we have conditions that can make you slip. You're going to speed. Oh, goody gumdrops. of the Saints. Iowa 27. So we got just a little over an hour to Albert Lea. Gonna just double check what my permit says for Minnesota. I mean, I have the annual permit, but I just want to double check it to make sure that I am properly set up. So that if I do have to stop at a scale house, which hopefully I don't, but unfortunately, we were going to have to play it by ear with the weather, which we always do. I mean, right now, I don't feel it's that dangerous. I mean, you see the snow is very dry on the road. It's blowing. It's not sticking anymore. We have good visibility ahead of us and behind us. I can see more than a quarter mile ahead. So we are just going to keep going. And if the weather changes to a point where I feel it's too dangerous, I'll stop. And if I have to drive on Sunday, I have to drive on Sunday. Is it an inconvenience? Yeah, but a very small one. We have too many drivers out there, and you see them on the you see them all the time, off in the ditch, and off on the side of the road, having to put chains on and getting into trouble because they had to go. They gotta go. Which I don't understand. I didn't have that attitude when I drove a van. I did not have that attitude when I did regular flatbed at Melton. And now that I deal with oversized loads, permits, and escorts, I still don't understand it. It's granted I can make more of a claim now about the weather and road closures now without being looked at like I'm an idiot. Well, you could have gone, you just chose not to. No, the road was closed. Here's the proof. I'm not going. So, all right. So we are past Charles City, making our turn more to the west. So we're pretty much going to follow this past Mason City, over near Clear Lake. We'll get on I-35. We're going to take that north into Minnesota. too bad out here today. I mean, cold, yes, but yeah, you dress warmly, you're good to go. Yeah, good use of a turn signal. Where's your lights on? Why are you speeding? Come on, man. It doesn't require a lot of brain power to drive sensibly. There ain't nowhere you gotta be. Kane Henson, how you doing? Hopefully you're a bit warmer than it is out here in Iowa. Well, like I said, we're gonna do our best to get ourselves to Fargo. And from Fargo, we got basically 1 hour driving to get up to Galesburg. They know I'm on my way. I spoke to them yesterday. But Monday is going to be the coldest day for the time, for when I got to be there, because tomorrow's supposed to be up in the 20s. Monday is supposed to be like 8 degrees for a high. And there goes Super Trucker right there. Speed limit is 65 there, Super Trucker. Why are you doing 70? There ain't nowhere you gotta be that important. Like I said, it's gonna be like 8 degrees. Hopefully the wind dies and we don't have a whole lot of wind Monday. That makes it easier to unload. It'll make it easier to load and secure my load, get things put away, get things done properly. Excuse me. Then once we do that, we can make our way through, like I said, back into North Dakota from Minnesota with that 12-foot wide load, through North Dakota, into Montana. We will see if they allow me to go straight through I-90 in Idaho, or if I got a detour south down towards Boise. Who knows what they're going to have me do? We will see. Then hopefully the weather is a little bit better. I mean, I'll probably have to deal with wind out there in Othello more than anything else, I think. But until we actually make it out there, we won't know. but rather pretty, rather nice looking out here with the snow and the wind is picking up. I mean, I don't know if the camera's picking up that snow, but it is getting a little bit windier. But we're doing A-okay, I think. So we're not gonna worry too much about it. As long as my load stays attached, as long as my flags and banners and lights stay where they're supposed to, I ain't gonna worry about it. Little pond over there, frozen over. But definitely a winter wonderland, as they like to say. And like I've made mention before, tonight for a live stream for dinner, I will be doing one. Facebook on This Trucker's Life and the other YouTube channel, Hungry for the Road. We're going to be doing bacon cheeseburgers tonight. Have a little bit of baked beans on the side. But we got some thick cut bacon. We got some good ground beef, buns. We got onion. I don't have any lettuce, but I really don't need lettuce. We got it. We're going to put a fried egg on top. So lettuce on that burger would not be all that great. We may do the burger being a stuffed burger, may have a bit of American cheese on the side, getting all melty and gooey. Bit of onion, mustard, ketchup, egg, American cheese, a couple of slices, a couple of things of bacon. I said baked beans on the side, and I'll see if I can find me some microwave French fries. We'll pop them in the air fryer. I mean, I do have 2 russet potatoes. I could actually make my own French fries if I wanted to. But, see, here we go. He almost had it. He almost passed correctly. Turn signal, plenty of distance. He did not leave the signal on long enough before moving into the lane, and he didn't leave it on, period, until he was fully in the lane. So he gets about a 45% okay pass. All right. Basically have 1 hour up here to Albert Lea, 59 miles. It says 56 minutes, so as long as the Rand McNally's tallying with the correct speed limits set on the road, which for the most part about 99% it is, but there are places where it is wrong. But But as long as it's accurate for the what actually exists on the signage for the road, we should have about 56 minutes to get to Albert Lea, to the Loves. So it is 8 minutes to 2 o'clock. So a little before 3 o'clock, we'll get there, check our load, get the heck out of there as fast as possible. Make sure we are properly lighted for going into the dark, going into the night. And as long as we have the proper sign, we have the proper flags, banners, and lighting, we can drive in through Minnesota into North Dakota. We'll have plenty of time available on our clock to do so. So that's not an issue. The only issue is going to be what conditions are on the road where we have to stop and pull off. When I get here to Albert Lea, I will be checking the weather radar to see what it looks like. We're going to look at the roads to see what they're doing. If it gets heavier than this, I will be stopping, bar none, without question. Because I'm not going to put myself in danger any more than I absolutely have to. But if it looks like the weather's going to be clearing up, I will push on. Like I said, I got all day tomorrow that I can drive. So that's just the way it be. But it definitely is getting heavier. So, like I said, get to Albert Lea in just about an hour. And if I need to park it for the rest of the night, I'm not going to cry about it. It is what it is. I have a full day extra to get up there. If I can't make it to Fargo today, half a day's drive tomorrow, I'll make it there. And to be honest, I would prefer not to be driving at night, even when it's clear and dry during the summertime cloudiness and plenty of lights from street lamps. I driving at night. And if I have to drive when it's dark, I'd rather do it first thing in the morning, 3 o'clock, 4 a.m. I'll get up then and drive and have the sun come up. I always feel a lot better about doing that. But driving into the night, no. That's not for me. Excuse me. But no more than an hour to Albert Lea. We'll check, like I said, double check the permit for Minnesota. Make sure we're properly able to be set up there. Double check the weather and the road conditions from the Minnesota, traffic, whatnot. If it looks like it's not going to be conducive to drive, I ain't driving, Right? No reason for you to be going. I mean, why don't you just do 65? You're doing 64.1. Why don't you just do 65 so I don't have to try to pass you? I'm not going faster than the speed limit. You know, 1 mile, 2 miles on the speed limit is not exactly that great of a thing to do. You're not being extra cautious. You're not being, you know, you're not doing anything fantastic. Right? So even that car, I'm giving more than a truck length. Because I'm blowing lots of smoke out the back. Lots of snow. Alright, let's see here. My World, My Way, Helen, how you doing? Well, I mean, the snow is pretty dry here. The wind is blowing enough. The road is cold enough for the most part. So it's not really affecting driving as of yet. But, like I said, we're going to get up to I-35 here in a little bit. We're just coming up on Mason, crossing over the Winnebago River. Excuse me. So California Avenue, right here at this exit, is the very eastern part of Mason City. And I believe it's US 65 up at an exit up here. US 65, I believe, goes right through Mason City. It's 60 something. And after we pass Mason City, we'll get to I-35, take that north up to Albert Lea, and we'll make a determination of what we're going to do as far as driving for the rest of the day. Like I said, I would prefer to get to Fargo and stay there, but if we can only go halfway today, then we only go halfway. You know, it's, well, a little less than halfway. It's better to get there late than not at all, because you slid off the road into the ditch. Great. No, it's not icy at all. Not icy at all. Well, My World, My Way, Helen, you had the one word in there that you had me not want to have that, and that's the word liver. I'm not a big fan of liver. You know, only if liver is in small bits, mixed up in a gravy or in a mushroom stuffing, then I'll do a little bit of liver, but not a big fan. You will never find me buying liver at the store, ever. It may be good for you, but I just don't like it. I'm not a big fan of foie gras. I don't like calf's liver, duck liver, chicken livers. You know, if it's ground up as part of an ingredient, small portions, I'm fine with it. You know, it does help to add to the flavor, add to the consistency. But as a main ingredient, no thanks. US 18 closed, 1.5 mile ahead, wind flashing. So that tells me up here, all the way to I-35, the road is good and clear and dry enough for to safely travel, so we are good to go. Casey's General Store, Yes Way, Quick Mart. Yeah, they got the corrugated or grooved concrete here, so it's always a little bit bumpy on concrete because for some reason they can't lay concrete perfectly flat and smooth. So it's always that not enjoyable at all. All right, Mason City, directly north of us. It looks like a hydroponic farm right here. At least that's what it looks like. Clear walls and clear ceiling. Plenty of lights on inside. Looks like it's growing some kind of vegetables. A couple of the windmills. Should be able to make them out. All righty. HZ Wind Power. I'm fairly confident they have not made back the investment that it cost to get those things bought, transported, installed, the land, the taxes. Windmills are fine as a supplement, but you're waiting on the vagaries of Mother Nature to get a steady supply of electricity. See, I'm not one of those people that's an either or. Either you have coal, oil, natural gas, whatever your liquid fuel source is, or wind, solar, geothermal, whatever, or nuclear. Why don't we just use it all? Well, one day we're going to run out of fossil fuels. Yeah, I mean, it's not inexhaustible. It's a finite resource. But according to all the known sources out there that study that geology like that, we have enough fuel with a 10% increase of use every year for another 500 years. So, why not use that resource up? Because if it's a pollutant, like all the greeny weeny super eco nuts want to claim, why not get that polluting toxic sludge out of the ground, use it for something productive, get rid of it, put the CO2 in the air for the plants, which means more food, more trees for everybody, use it up, and in the meantime, learn how to be more efficient with wind, solar, wave, geothermal, nuclear, corn. I mean, we can grow enough corn in America alone to power everything we need. You wouldn't have any Doritos, you wouldn't have any Fritos or corn tortillas coming out of the country, but we could grow enough fuel, biodiesel from corn to supplement if we ever did run out of fossil fuel. excuse me. I mean, there's fossil fuel out there that we will never be able to get. Underneath the oceans, there's pockets of fossil of crude oil. We will never be able to access it. Now, so I'm not one of those to say, well, you either have wind power or nothing. No, why don't we use it all? Let's use a little bit of common sense and a touch of reality. All right, 0.7 of a mile to I-35 northbound to Minneapolis, southbound to Des Moines. 18 and 27 follow northbound. All right, here we go. So 41 miles to Albert Lea, which means approximately 30 miles. So we're going to take our cruise control off. Turn our cruise control off, that way we have a little bit more control of our how our engine is doing. Slow down a little bit because we're going around a curve, and I would prefer not sliding off the road. 2 ATVs in our life. How are y'all doing? You guys are down in Quartzsite right now, aren't you? Or are you out in Texas? I can't remember exactly where you were the last video I watched, the last live stream I watched. But here we are, northern Iowa, I-35 we are merging with. Like I said, we're heading up here right now to Albert Lea, 39 miles. We're going to stop and do a load check. We're going to double check our permit. Got all kinds of snow blowing out the back, so we're got to be a little bit more cautious for the people that are following us. But we're also going to double check the weather to see what it says. Because if it looks worse up ahead of us, we're just going to stay in Albert Lea and call it a day. We'll just call it a day. And just hunker there overnight, wait for the weather to pass. Tomorrow morning, get up as early as I can, if the weather permits, get going, get ourselves up to Fargo, and then we'll make our delivery on Monday. Pardon me. Excuse me. Now I had left my ice scraper, little snow broom. I left that in my truck when it went into the shop, back in November, because I just didn't have time to get everything out. I got the most important things out, but there's still several things still in my truck. One of them is my Snow Broom ice scraper. So when I was here at Iowa 80, I had to buy another one of those, which I knew I had to buy anyway, but the one they have there in Iowa 80, I knew they had. That's the one I wanted to wait for. So when I got there, I could do that. Clear Lake. I've stopped at that pilot before. It's okay. There's a quick stop on the east side here at the same exit. Never been over that one, but there's truck parking over there as well. Let's see, that's exit 194, 195, 194, 194. Like I said, another 35 miles, 36 miles north. We're going to stop in Albert Lea. I was going to stop at the Loves, but if I remember correctly, that Loves does not have laundry facilities. And I believe the Petro at the trail end does have laundry for the truck drivers. So I'll be going over to the Petro. I'd rather park at the Loves, but I want to get some laundry done. You know, there are some stinky things in there. I don't want to leave them stinky for too long. So we're going to try to get that done if I'm going to stay here tonight. So we'll just go ahead and we'll pull over to the Petro at Trails End, and we will we'll see what I can do. If I can go further, I'll go further. If not, say lovey. But you see, for the most part, the road, the snow is blowing off the road. It's fairly dry. It is collecting, you know, where you don't have as much traffic, and the wind from the cars can't get over there that much. Now, a couple of guys have stopped over here at this rest area. But I will always, you know, I don't like stopping at rest areas overnight. I do it when I have to. Rest areas or way stations, if I have to. But I only stop at those, you know, during the day for a load check or a 30-minute break. Meet up with a escort, whatnot. Excuse me. But otherwise, I always try to park at a Walmart, park at a receiver, but mostly park at an actual truck stop where I have facilities if I need it. Yeah, exit 11, Albert Lea, if my memory served me correctly on that one. Hit the old rumble strip there a little bit. Like I said, visibility is starting to get to, get down, so it's hard to see. I still can see over a quarter mile, but it's becoming a little bit less. So definitely a half an hour from now, checking the weather, checking the permit. I mean, I know the permit already talks about the weather, but I'll check the radar, see what it says, and then go or not go based upon that. And besides the permit, I'm also going to check the rules and regulations for Minnesota just to make sure that I have everything 100% correct for lighting and what I can do to drive at night. Drive when the sun goes down. Because I would really prefer to get all the way to Fargo. Not that Fargo's a great place to park, but I'd rather be closer to my destination and wait than be further away from my destination and wait. Because you never know what's going to happen between here and there. So the more I can reduce that distance, the better. Excuse me. There goes a International Lone Star. Some people don't like the look of that truck. I do. Regular old Freightliner there. There's a Peterbilt. There's an International. There's a Freight Shaker. Yeah, the snow is coming down pretty good. Be a lot better sitting next to a big window. Have a fire in the fireplace, a cup of hot chocolate or a cup of tea. Just sit there and no lights on in the house, just a fire. Sit and watch the snow fall. Why are people hitting their brakes up here for no reason? Crossing the Winnebago River again. There was no reason to be hitting your brakes. I don't know why you did. You force me to it, I will go ahead and pass you. Not going to play them games. This guy up here doing 70 miles an hour with his flashers on. If you can do 70 miles an hour, you don't need your flashers. If you can do 70 miles an hour, there ain't a dang thing wrong with your truck, with you, or the road. That to me is the mark of a non-professional. Somebody who is not using their brain. If you need your flashers, that's saying there's a hazard. There's something to watch out for. And every other indication demonstrates there is nothing like that. So why are you doing it? Probably because you're not acting like a professional and someone who has actually any skill in doing their job. That is my opinion. But if you're on a highway where it's 70 miles an hour and you're doing 70 miles an hour, there's no reason for your hazard lights. No reason for your lights to be blinking like that. Now the lights in the cab make that audible sound. Click, 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 click. Unless you got the music jacked up so high you can't hear yourself. But you also supposed to use your eyes and look at your gauges once in a while. Oh, my flashes are on. Let me turn those off. Oh, my turn signal's on. I've been driving in a straight line for an hour and a half. Maybe I should turn that off. Oh, it's dark outside. Let me turn my lights on. All right. 13 to 14 miles to the border. I-35 Iowa way station, about 7 miles ahead. And if you can see, his flashers are doing no good. Too much snow blind. We are keeping it just a little over a truck length between me and him. We got somebody driving on the road with no lights on coming up behind me. Moron. We could pass this guy, but I'm just going to sit right here, let him go into the way station first, if it's open. Doesn't really matter, because they're going to look at me a lot more strictly than they're going to look at him. Because they can see my load, so they're going to be able to pick out more things wrong. Excuse me. Joyce Kinset. Coming up 1 mile ahead. Let's see. Northwood is up here to our right. Lake Mills is over off to our left. Joyce is to the left. And Kinset is to the right as well. The road surface is good, so we are not too worried about it. Snow is being blown by the vehicles as it goes by, so it's staying quite cold and not adhering to the road too much. We have the heat on down at the floor at a low level, so we're keeping our window as cool as we can. That'll keep the snow from sticking as much, especially since it's nice and dry. So that's going to keep our visibility pretty good. So 21 miles to Albert Lea, where we will make our determination on what we're going to do. Mile marker 210 on I-35. Northbound. Rest area, 1 mile, parking only. Then why don't you call it a parking area instead of resting area? If you're not allowed to do anything but park. Modern rest area, 3 miles. Yeah, those 15th century rest areas are not all that fun. Especially when you're only allowed to park at them. Ugh. Slow down a little bit here, too much blowing snow. I want to be able to see what I'm doing, so we'll slow down a little bit. We got about 3 truck lengths between me and the guy in front of me. That pickup in that car that just passed makes it a little bit harder to see. There we go. That clears up a little bit. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Primary Iowa Welcome Center. Royal Motel, Country Inn, Holiday Inn. Burger King. Come and Go and Kitchen Buffet. BP, Amoco, Come and Go. Lake Mills, Northwood. Closer to Northwood, which is off to the right, to the east, than it is to Lake Center, which is off to the left. Rest area, wireless internet, vending machines, handicap, phone, and RV black water dump. Why were you hitting your brakes? There was no need to be hitting your brakes. Winter driving. 2 rules. 1, keep your vehicle straight. 2, keep your foot off the brake. But the most important one, if it's that bad outside, don't go anywhere at all. The Diamond Joe Cafe. Or casino. Sorry, casino. Miles to Albert Lee. State boat ahead. We should have the way station here. Or was that just on the south side? Was that just southbound? It must have been southbound, you know. I don't come this way a lot, so yeah, whatever. I knew there was one on the road, but I did not remember if there was one northbound as well as southbound, but hey, we don't have to deal with it, so that's fine by me. And there's no way station here in Minnesota before Albert Lea, so we don't have to worry about that. We just have to worry about the weather and the traffic. So we're gonna go ahead and pass this guy here, because if you can run at highway speed, there's no reason to have your blinker on. Minnesota rest area, 2 miles. Got to scoot past K&B here. There we go. Nice and easy, nice and safe. Just keep ourselves in our lane and it's not a problem. Because we have the blowing snow coming out the back of us, we're going to give more than a truck length. We're going to give 3 truck lengths and plenty of blinker. Over nice and slow. He doesn't have his headlights on like an idiot. He's got no lights on. So, no. Yeah, you're not using your brain. All right, here we are, state line, or state law. Minnesota welcomes you. Well, it could have welcomed me with 75-degree temperatures, a beach, and palm trees. You failed, Minnesota. This is not as welcoming as you think it is. I know a lot of you got that Scandinavian blood in you. But, you know, I'd be a lot more welcomed, you know, with palm trees, a nice barbecue, 75-degree temperatures, clear blue water on a beach. That would be a lot more welcoming to me. I like winter when I'm inside and not dealing with it. When I'm outside, driving or working in it, not as big a fan. I like looking at it in pictures more than actually being in it. I do love winter, but if I cannot freeze to death, that'd always be a nice thing. Road and weather information, 511. Well, we're going to use the WeatherBug app. We're going to use the Minnesota phone app. See what the weather is doing and what the roads are. Round Prairie Lutheran Church, established 1865. Roads are still pretty dang good, except the snow is dry. The road surface isn't too warm. The wind is blowing enough that it's keeping it pretty good. Now, if I remember correctly, before we pull off on exit 11, we will have a bridge over some water, if I remember correctly. So that will be the most dangerous location, because that's where we'll have to actually worry about actual ice, which I don't want to drive on. So, but as long as we keep it straight, we're not hitting our brakes, we should be A-OK. So about 7 miles up the road, we will be pulling into the truck stop, and we will make a determination on what we are going to do. But either way, we're going to do it safely, legally, and responsibly. So the visibility is a lot further down the road than it was not even just 2 minutes ago. It's a tiny bit brighter out on the horizon off to my northeast or my northwest, which is basically the direction I want to be heading. So that may be a good sign. It may just be a temporary lull in the weather, just right in that one little patch, but looking off to my east here, I can see about a mile over the fields, a bit, foggy, a bit, misty, but I can see that far. I'm seeing more than a quarter mile ahead, more than half a mile ahead, actually. So maybe we can proceed, but we're going to double check everything before we do make that determination. Albert Lee, exit 11, Beef Jerky Warehouse, next to the Walmart. Petro at the Trails Inn, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, Caribou, and the Skull Diner. Alright, visibility is coming down a little bit here in this particular area right now, so that stays put whether or not. Well, since our atmosphere is over 80% nitrogen, why is that a problem? Albert lake.
Take exit 11 on the right, onto East Main Street toward Albert Lee.
Quite frozen over there, I'd say. That road. Last time I came up this way, there was a couple of people out there. There was a person out there skiing across it. Next mile. We'll pull off here. Albert Lee, Minnesota. Actually, not too far away from Grand Meadow. We are not too far away from my company's headquarters in Grand Meadow, Minnesota. I mean, technically I could go over there and park, but that's out of the way, and I really don't want to. All right, here we go. Downshifting as we go. Turn our engine brake off because we don't need that on while we're trying to shift up through the gears. This makes it a little bit harder. Makes it a little bit rougher to do so. Gold Tavern. Plenty of parking over at the Loves.
Turn at the first left.
I was going to go over there, but
Make a U-turn at East Main Street.
Like I said, I don't remember them having laundry, and if I'm going to stop here for the night, I want to stop where I have laundry, and I remember right, they have laundry here.
Turn around when possible.
How about I do this first? Take it nice and easy. Now they're moving slower. The window, the snow is going to stick to the windshield. Like I said, we are going to
turn around when possible.
Turn around when possible. Let's find a place to park. We're gonna park next to this other Valley guy. Hey, Valley, how you doing? Why not? So we'll keep it all together here. Yeah. Yep. Plenty of room on both sides, so we are good to go. All right. Turn those off. So, like I said, we're going to check our weather here, and we will go from there. There we go. So this guy's been here for a little bit. Snow is accumulating on his truck, so well, it is what it is. We'll put ourselves off duty at least, and we will see y'all later.